There's the growing possibility for a big spring storm for next weekend. We're talking about April the 4th through the 6th. That'd be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next weekend for eastern Colorado. Some of your automated weather apps, we've talked about this before, are showing you some significant snowfall totals. I've seen a few people send me some totals showing 6 to 12 inches plus of snow. I'm here to tell you that that is a realistic possibility, that we could be talking about a major snow event across parts of eastern Colorado for next weekend. Here's why. Start things off from a big perspective. When you're talking about a big eastern Colorado, Denver area snowstorm, and you want a wide view about what you need, you want two things. One, you want a cutoff low. That is a low that is not attached to the jet stream, and you want it spinning over the right place, which is usually somewhere around Albuquerque, central New Mexico, maybe northern New Mexico, maybe even a little bit down to central New Mexico. Depends on the low, but that's generally where you want it. We've got that. And then you want off to the east, what we call a blocking high, an area high pressure that's somewhat strong and somewhat stagnant off to our east. So think of that high, that big area of orange I'm showing you on this map below me, as a stop sign. That means that area low pressure off to the west can't move a whole lot and means it's going to sit and spin over the same area and produce several inches of perhaps precipitation over the same spots again and again. Now, that's the overall setup that we've got. However, if you're hoping for a big snowstorm in eastern Colorado, think of it this way. Think about the Broncos having Peyton Manning. Let's say the Super Bowl is a major Denver area snowstorm, and you've got, in this case here, Peyton Manning and a really, really good defense. Just a total analogy here, but work with me for a second. But that having Peyton Manning and a really killer defense doesn't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl. You need, if you get, for example, a linebacker that gets injured, you get an offensive lineman that gets injured, that can derail your season. In this case here, if you have borderline temperatures, if that low tracks a bit too far south, which looks like a possibility, then that can derail the whole thing. You need a lot of things to come together to create a big snowstorm. We might have some of the big picture stuff, but we might not have some of the little picture stuff to get there. But speaking of which, some of the modeling has pushed this low a little bit further south, more down into, say, southern New Mexico. That'd be too far south for a big snowstorm for most of eastern Colorado, but we still could be talking about a few inches for us next weekend here in the Denver area, especially Saturday and Sunday. The foothills, this could be a big storm. And the thing to keep in mind, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed, those leaves are starting to come out. Those leaves can hold snow. They add extra weight, and this would be a heavy, wet kind of snowstorm. If we get 6 inches plus of snow, this is going to be a really messy snowstorm, especially if you get a foot plus. That could bring down power lines. So just keep that in mind, especially in the foothills, as we track the storm over the next few days. This could be that kind of storm if it pans out the right way. I'll leave you with this. I'd put it about a 25-30% chance that we get a major, we'll call it 6 to 10 inch plus sort of snow event. I don't know. It's way too early to be talking about specifics, but about a 25-30% chance, about a 1 in 4, 1 in 3 chance we end up with a major snowstorm next weekend, which is a pretty high possibility. It's not 50%. Most likely scenario is this ends up as a foothills snow event, so think 6,000 feet or above, Castle Rock, the usual spots like that. That's where we could be having the higher, maybe 60-70% chance of a 1 to 2 foot heavy, wet snowstorm that could really do a lot of damage. And then about a 25-30% chance this ends up just being too far south or too far east for significant impacts across eastern Colorado. So just to leave you with this, I want to put it in your eyes and ears that next weekend looks busy. By the way, if you're going to the Rockies games, we got the Rockies home opener on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. My suspicion, the early glance would be that they're probably dry for the game on Friday. Saturday and Sunday looks cold, looks snowy. I'll keep you posted.